Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy if you've never seen me before. This feels a little bit weird because I usually start my videos with the end, if that makes sense. So I already have the makeup on and everything, but I just thought I was going to start it this way today because it's just so much easier. So here I am, barefaced, ready to go. I just want to say thank you for sticking by me through the few weeks of absence I've had here. I just was in this really weird funk and I just didn't want to film anything. I didn't really want to do any makeup looks. I was really just sort of taking time for myself, which I think is really important if you're doubting yourself or doubting what you're doing. I just started to get really upset about my whole Instagram, comparing myself to other people and stuff like that. So I just took some time out and now I'm feeling a lot better. Hence I'm back to filming YouTube videos. But thank you so much to anyone who supported me in that time and was sending me some lovely messages. It really did boost my confidence and get me feeling good again, so I really do appreciate that. With that being said, obviously I am filming today, but I can't promise you my uploads are going to be really consistent. I'm still sort of getting out of that phase. I'm trying to get myself back to normal, so I don't know how often I'll be uploading, but I will definitely try my best to get videos up every week for you. But please just bear with me whilst I'm, working through this phase of mine. It's not very often I get in phases like this. I've been doing Instagram since May 2017, and this is like the first time I've actually had to take a break and take a step back and think, actually, hold on 1 minute. So I mean, I'm not really used to this and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to work back into it. But with that being said, please keep watching if you want to see how I create my distorted kind of makeup look that everyone keeps asking me to film over on my Instagram. So if you guys are new here or you've never seen me before or you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But this is a look I created in actually January last year. I remember creating this and thinking, I hate how this is going. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I posted it nonetheless and you guys seem to really like that look. So last month in December, I decided to recreate it in blue tones, if it's gonna focus. And this one got so much love on my Insta stories, on my comments and everything like that, and everyone was asking me to do a tutorial. So I'm gonna do something similar like this today. What I wanna do, instead of keeping it all one color, is do like half of it in one color and then half of it in a different sort of color scheme. But honestly, I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what I can come up with. I don't wanna like force it too much, I'm just gonna have fun and play around with color. But this is the kind of look I'm gonna create today, so let's get on with it. Before we get into the eyeshadow and everything like that, I am going to start out with my brows like obviously I always do. Recently I have been using brow pencils so much. If you guys have been watching me for a while or following me for a while, you know that brow powder was always my thing. I used to love using brow powder on my brows and then pomade, but I've really been moving over into pencils and like stuff like this recently. So this is the Benefit Brow Contour Pro pencil. This was actually really kindly given to me by Saffron when I went to stay at her house for the weekend. She said she had so many of these, so she gifted one to me because I told her I hadn't tried it before, and I actually really like this. The only thing I will say about it is the nib, when you actually twist it up, is quite fat. It's probably not gonna focus. The actual tip is quite fat, so you don't really get the most hair-like strokes, but it is so pigmented. Like I literally would do like the tiniest swipe and that pigment is there. So in that sense, it's really quick and easy to use. My favorite brow pencils are actually the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the Morphe brow pencils, but I have ran out of both of those in my shades, so hence I'm using this today. But this is really good anyway. So I'm just going to show you how I've been doing my brows recently. So what I like to do with this is just start by taking it through the front of my brow and just doing really light little strokes. Like I said, they don't really look like hair strokes because this is quite a fat like nib, but it's just to give a little bit of color without looking too harsh. So I just take that beneath my brow following my natural brow shape. Then what I'm doing is taking the spoolie end of the Anastasia brow definer, and I'm just gonna literally run that through like this so it disperses the product. Please do excuse the state of them right now. I am gonna go back and clean them up, so don't worry about that. But I'm not the most precise when it comes to brows. Now that initial shape and color is down, I am just going to take the Anastasia clear brow gel. This is my favorite brow gel I've ever tried, and I just like to run that through from the bottom of my brow upwards, flicking all the hairs up and then just softening the tops at the top, obviously. Then I'm just taking a baby wipe like I always do, and I'm just going to run that underneath my brow to get rid of any of the excess product under there. And that is pretty much it for my brows. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take a concealer. My concealer of choice for carving out my brows is most commonly the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer. This one is in the shade Zero Extra Fair, and then I just carved them out using an Anastasia A2 brush, and then I'm ready to prime my eyes. To begin with the eyeshadow, obviously because it is a split look, we are going to be taking some tape. So this is just, I don't even know, some tape I have lying in my room, and I am just going to place that down my eye, halfway down, and kind of into my eyebrow as well, just really making sure it's going to stick. From this point onwards, I am going to give you a heads up, it's going to be really hard for me to keep looking in the camera, just because obviously if I keep moving my eyes around, the tape is going to move. So I'll see how I get on, but it might be quite difficult to film. I didn't really think of that beforehand. I can't even take myself seriously looking like that. So for the look today, I am going to be using the Plouise palette. I've only done one video using this bad boy, and I just felt like I needed to bring it back. So I'm going to start by taking the shade Love Shy, which is actually the darkest shade in the palette. I'm just using one of the double-sided Anastasia brushes, and I'm just going to pack that through the inner crease. So you want to do this as though you were going to take it the whole way across the eye, but you're actually only can't speak today. You're only taking it obviously halfway until where the tape is. So packing on that shade. This part is actually the easiest part of the look because you have the tape there as your guide, but when you take the tape off to do the outer half, it gets a little bit more tricky because you haven't got a guide anymore, and you've just got to sort of be really careful to make sure you leave the gap in the middle, if that makes sense. Then on a new brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Bow Down, which is the top orange colour, and I'm just blending out that dark shade. And finally, I'm going to be taking a Sigma E36 small blending brush and taking the shade Climax, which is the yellow. Then, as always, when I do a normal cut crease, I am going to go ahead and remove some of the excess shadow using some makeup remover and a cotton bud. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut my half cut crease. Next up, I'm just taking a little bit of the NYX glitter primer on the back of my hand with an Anastasia 18 brush. And I'm just going to pack this into a half double cut crease sort of shape. So basically I'm going to follow the shape of the cut crease but take it a little bit lower down so there's a gap in the middle. Okay, the first pigment I'm taking is the Stacey Marie pigment in collaboration with Sample Beauty. This is a bright orange, not orange, yellow, gorgeous pigment shade, and we're just packing that on the inner third of the eye. Then the next one is also a collaboration pigment with Sample Beauty. This is the Your Stylish Self pigment. This is like a gorgeous sort of pinky shade, and that's going next to the yellow. And the final pigment I'm going in with is a Rodeo by Peaches and Cream. I haven't actually used this one yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be a dark sort of red-ish shade. Okay, and that is the inner half of the eye done, so you can take off that tape. Oh, that's so satisfying. I'm gonna go off and do the other eye because I realized I haven't actually started this eye yet, and then once I'm back at this sort of stage, we will continue with the outer half. So I just started filming the outer half of the eye, and then I realized the shadows weren't actually blending very well because I hadn't primed the outside of my eye, because earlier we only primed the inside. So I took it off. I've now primed the rest of my eye and all around this way as well, just because we're going to be blending the shadows out there. And now I'm going to start again. So I'm actually taking the James Charles palette for this. I'm going to use the purple shades on the outer corner. So I'm going to start with the shade Escape on a small JH 42 Yep, love that. JH42 brush and start mapping out the shape. Now I'm going in with the shade Love That on the JH39 brush and blending that above the purple. Then on a Morphe M507, I'm going to take the shade Skip, which is the bright pink in the corner of the palette, just to blend out all of those edges. Now I'm just going in again with the Plouise base in the shade 0 to cut my crease. I'm just cutting it into a, like, point, I guess. You'll see what I mean when I'm doing it. I'm honestly probably the worst person at explaining what I'm doing right now. Because honestly, I don't really know. I just sort of go along with it and make it up as I go. You guys know that already. But next step is to do the little thingy inside that blank area. Again, a really good explanation, Lucy, thank you. Basically, we're going to do it the exact same way we did that outer shape, but we're just doing it in small form on the inside of that triangle. So I am starting again with the same brush with the same escape colour, and I'm just going to mark out a smaller little sort of point in the middle of that one. Next colour with the same brush again. And then cutting out that line like I did before. Okay, by now this is probably the longest video in the world, so I am just going to go up and finish the outer corner of this eye and then probably just put a little bit of face makeup on and some lashes and come back when I'm finished, I guess, and we'll see how it looks. Okay guys, so here is my finished look. I will obviously insert a close-up of the look. I'm just going to tilt my head this side because let's just say this side was about 1,000 times better than this one, but it's okay because I only take my photos on this side, so that's not such a problem. I've got to say I am not the happiest with this look. I mean, I'm glad I filmed it because it might still help you guys, but the other interpretations of this look that I've done, i.e. the blue one I uploaded back in December, I think I actually still prefer. I do really like the colours I used for this look, but the execution was definitely better on the blue look, but it doesn't matter, we can't all be perfect all the time, so I'm still happy I have uploaded this for you guys, so please do let me know if you enjoyed and if it taught you anything. Just before I get any questions, the gloss I have on is the Plouise gloss. It's such a beautiful colour. I literally can't stop staring at it in my monitor, which I know I should stop doing because I should look into the lens instead. And these lashes are the Bish lashes by Bow Beauty in collaboration with Abby Roberts and Victoria Jane. So there we go. For those of you who were begging me to do a tutorial, I hope you especially enjoyed this because this one's for you. So if you did enjoy, then please make sure to leave a thumbs up, a comment below, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. You're obviously welcome to follow me over on my Instagram as well if you wish to. My handle is at Lsgmakeup. I'm really hoping that I can hit 100,000 on Instagram by the summer. I know that may sound like I'm asking for a lot, but you've always got to reach high, hey? So let's just hope we can get there. Once again, do subscribe if you haven't already and if you want to see more of my videos, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Please just let me die. Being alive